he said with cold formality. Alistair Struan was leaning against the fine fireplace. He was a big, ruddy, well-kept Scotsman with a slight paunch and white hair, in his 60s, and he had ruled Struan's for 6 years. "Drink?" He waved a hand at the Dom Perignon in the silver bucket. "Thank you." Dunross had never been in the tai-pan's private quarters before. The room was spacious and well-furnished, with Chinese lacquer and good carpets, old oils of their early clipper ships and steamers on the walls. The big picture windows that would normally overlook all Hong Kong, the harbour and Kowloon across the harbour, were now black and rain-streaked. He poured. "Health," he said formally. Alistair Struan nodded and equally coldly raised his glass in return. "You're early." 5 minutes early is on time, Tai-pan. Isn't that what Father hammered into me? Is it important that we meet at midnight? Yes, it's part of our custom. Dirk's custom. Dunross sipped his wine, waiting in silence. The antique ship's clock ticked loudly. His excitement increased, not knowing what to expect. Over the fireplace was a marriage portrait of a young girl. This was Tess Struan, who had married Cullum, second Tai-pan and son of their founder, Dirk Struan, when she was 16. Dunross studied it. A squall dashed the windows. "Filthy night," he said. The older man just looked at him, hating him. The silence grew. Then the old clock chimed 8 bells. Midnight. There was a knock on the door. "Come in," Alistair Struan said with relief, glad that now they could begin. The door was opened by Lim Chu, the Tai-pan's personal servant. He stepped aside to admit Philip Chen, comprador of Struan's, then closed the door after him. "Ah, Philip, you're on time as usual," Alistair Struan said, trying to sound jovial. "Champagne?" "Thank you, Tai-pan. Yes, thank you." "Good evening, Ian Struan Dunross," Philip Chen said to the younger man with unusual formality, his English very upper-class British. He was Eurasian, in his late 60s, spare, rather more Chinese than European, a very handsome man with grey hair and high cheekbones, fair skin, and dark, very dark Chinese eyes. "Dreadful night, what?" "Yes, it is indeed, Uncle Chen," Dunross replied, using the polite Chinese form of address for Philip, liking him and respecting him as much as he despised his cousin Alistair. "They say this typhoon's going to be a bastard." Alistair Struan was pouring the champagne into fine glasses. He handed Philip Chen a glass first, then Dunross. "Health!" They drank. A rain squall rattled the windows. "Glad I'm not afloat tonight," Alistair Struan said thoughtfully. "So, Philip, here you are again." "Yes, Tai-pan. I'm honoured. Yes, very honoured." He sensed the violence between the two men, but dismissed it. Violence is a pattern, he thought, when a Tai-pan of the Noble House hands over power. Alistair Struan sipped again, enjoying the wine. At length he said, "Ian, it's our custom that there'll be a witness to a handing over from Tai-pan to Tai-pan. It's always and only our current comprador." "Philip, how many times does this make?" "I've been witness 4 times, Tai-pan." "Philip has known almost all of us. He knows too many of our secrets. Eh, old friend?" Philip Chen just smiled. "Trust him, Ian. His counsel's wise. You can trust him." "As much as any Tai-pan should trust anyone," Dunross thought grimly. "Yes, sir." Alistair Struan set down his glass. "First, Ian Struan Dunross, I ask you formally, do you want to be Tai-pan of Struan's?" "Yes, sir." "You swear by God that all of these proceedings will be kept secret by you, and not divulged to anyone but your successor?" "Yes, sir." "Swear it formally." "I swear by God these proceedings will be secret and never divulged to anyone but my successor." "Here." The Tai-pan handed him a parchment, yellow with age. "Read it aloud." Dunross took it. The writing was spidery, but perfectly legible. He glanced at the date, July the 15th, 1841, his excitement soaring. "Is this Dirk Struan's writing?" "Aye."